A massive apology to Luke and his nonna, but we are definitely going to add fish sauce to this dish. You like that? Come on, bro. Come at me. Yeah. Apologies to all the Italians out there, but mate, I'm an Aussie. All right. Rules are made to be broken. All right. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is what we do at Home Cooking Basics, mate. We just do whatever the fuck we want. Whatever tastes good is what we do. Mate, it's food science. It works. All right. Look into it. Still sticking to the pork and fennel flavors. This is still leaning into that classic Italian dish. But we're not using sweet chili this time. You'll be proud. We're going to use sugar just because we're not trying to make this sauce this, I don't know, super diverse, crazy thing. This is just straight up an accompaniment to the pork and fennel. So I'll give that to you Italians. If you take it, which you fucking won't. Get ready for one of my favourite pasta dishes and my newest favourite pasta shape, Bucatini. The flavour of pork and fennel is an absolute classic, and along with this basic tomato sauce that isn't too strongly flavoured and doesn't detract from the fennel flavour. Such an amazing pasta dish that you'll be cooking this once a week. There's not a lot of difference for the ingredient list compared to my meatball recipe. The techniques are a little bit different, but I'll explain that later on. Let's start by getting the prep out of the way before we do anything. You can do what I do with my spaghetti and meatballs and blend the onion and carrot after frying it off to give it a smoother sauce and a silkier texture. But with this one, I like to dice the vegetables super fine as you possibly can, to give a little texture to the sauce. Just blast through these veggies and put them in a bowl. Cut the garlic super fine and put in a separate bowl. Squeeze the sausage meat out of its casings. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. I usually cut the ends and squeeze from the middle and push it out like toothpaste. I'm sure by the last sausage you will have found the best way to do this. I think mine changes every time I do this dish. Once you've done that, pinch into whatever size and shape you want. I like it to be about half the size of a golf ball and in a rough dollop, not round. This isn't a meatball, these are little chunks of meat. Lay them out on a plate so they're ready to go to be fried off and browned. Make sure to get your mise en place ready next to your stove. Everything in arm's length, ready at any notice to be used when needed. A really important step to be implemented in anyone's cooking. This is something that needs to be a habit. This little step will really change the game on how you think about preparing the food you cook. Over a medium heat, fry off the sausage, making sure to brown at least 2 sides of each piece before removing. Fry a half now and half later so you don't overcrowd the pan. You can really see where that hot spot is on my pot. I ended up pulling these a little early because I had the heat up a little high and I didn't want to burn the bottom. Once removed, You shouldn't need to add too much oil to the pan to fry off the aromatics. The fat from the sausage should be enough to get the job done. Fry off the onion and the carrot with a pinch of salt for around 5 to 10 minutes. Because my fond was at risk of burning, I deglazed with some wine. Being a tomato dish, I opted for red wine, but you can use water if nothing else is at hand. I mean, you could probably use like apple juice as well if you wanted to. Like, I didn't even think of that, but I never even thought of that. But that might actually, a bit of pineapple juice? Yeah, no. Once the onion is turned translucent and the wine has nearly completely evaporated, add the garlic and tomato paste for the last minute or two, stirring through well. This would be the time that you go to like my spaghetti and meatballs tactic and get out your immersion blender. Look out. And to get your immersion blender and blend all those veggies smooth and into a paste. So it's just sort of like sausage and sauce. But that's up to you. That's what cooking's all about. This is your dish. That's pretty much all the technical stuff done. We'll add back the sausage along with a can of diced tomatoes. Fill that can with water and pour that in as well. Or if you have any stock lying around, use that. Either or. Lastly, add the spices and any sauces. We want to simmer this for around 20 to 30 minutes uncovered, giving it a chance to reduce and for the flavours to blend together. I push this closer to an hour, and if you do and the liquid reduces too much, just add a little bit of water and go from there. Get a teaspoon and taste for seasoning. Add salt if needed, and it probably will, and maybe some acid. Red wine vinegar or balsamic vinegar works really well for tomato dishes. I use balsamic vinegar from Modena, which I probably butchered that thing, but it's Italian. Get around me. Now, don't believe for a second that bucatini is so good because the sauce gets in the whole of the pasta or any nonsense like that. It's so good because it's the surface to bite ratio that I find so satisfying. It's much thicker than spaghetti, and it's just got this really nice chew to it. I liken it to like an udon noodle. Cook your bucatini as per instructions, and bucatini. Cook your bucatini, but it's fucking, what is it? Bucatini. Nah. Cook your bucatini. Fuck. Bucatini. Book. Cook your bucatini as per instructions, and 1 minute before the recommended time, start pulling out bits to check for doneness. You want this to be slightly undercooked. Strain, but keep a cup of pasta water to put aside. Return the pasta to the pot and put it over the stove. Add in a ladle or two of the sauce and stir regularly. If the sauce evaporates before the pasta is al dente and cooked to your liking, then pour in a few tablespoons of pasta water. Once the pasta is to your preferred doneness, plate up, then pour over your amazing Italian sausage sauce, along with some Parmigiano Reggiano if you've got it. And if you don't got it, go to your cheesemonger and get a triangle. And if there's none around, go to Woolies. Woolies and Coles have straight up legit Parmigiano Reggiano. It might be a little expensive, but it's going to change how your food tastes. And if you're taking this food shit seriously, you know what to do. With the chew of that bucatini and the richness of this sauce, This is a serious feed. And if you live alone or you live in a household like me that your kids don't eat your food, well, you don't have to worry because this is not going to go off in your fridge. This will last you a day or two max. Like you're going to just, every meal, every second meal, you're going to be smashing this thing. It's so good. And for those in the know, and those in the know, looking at you, James, we're using that good fish sauce. Yeah, baby. Yeah. That's that good. That's that good. But guess what? This is that good. This is the Vietnamese. Is it Vietnamese? I think so. This is the Vietnamese version of this, the Italian version of this. So this is that good. This is that good. We can use these together. This is an Italian dish, yes, but we can also use different ingredients which taste good. Look it up. There's like studies on tomato base and fish sauce. All right, like I'm not breaking the mold here. I'm not. I'm not saying something that hasn't already been said. All right, mate. Like, fuck. Anyway, enjoy. All right. Imagine if I didn't record. Oh my god, did I fucking record this? I did. Can you imagine if I didn't